Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto, or welcome to the channel if you're new, and welcome to this new full analysis on Zcash. One of the best performing cryptos, of course, over the last couple of months. It hasn't been performing so well since the last week. In the last week, we are down about, what is it, like 20-30% or something? Yeah, 30%. From last week Friday into right now. Momentum has decreased significantly as well. Funding rates are still quite negative, which is a good thing. So you are still being rewarded, at least to a certain extent. Funding fees or funding rates are obviously not extremely high, but you're still being rewarded if you are long on Zcash. But it's not looking great, and we just had a technical breakdown on the higher time frames. And I wanted to talk about that, right? For those of you who are interested in Zcash, it is still a very, before we talk, here you can see the funding rate, by the way. It's still quite negative at this point in time. It's minus 14. Turned negative again last week, Sunday. So pretty good. Not as negative as it was before, right? I mean, if you look at the last 3 months, like how negative the funding rates became at the beginning of November for Zcash, it was almost unbelievable, but still, so that's pretty good. But like I said, before we talk about the current situation for Zcash, it is still very tradable. It's very reactive and very respectable to technical support and resistance. So it's definitely still on my watch list to keep trading. Although I must say that I think it's most likely right now we're going to push down. I think in general, the price action that we've seen since the 7th of November has been distribution, right? I mean, you can see right here that after the massive uptrend we've had since the start of October already, here for the first time we had lost the trend. On the daily time frame, we are still holding the trend. On any time frame lower, we have lost it. So at least there's distribution going on. But the big question for me always still was, okay, we have distribution going on right here, but maybe we can still make a higher high right here, some sort of a bearish divergence. Well, that's great drawing, some sort of a bearish divergence, and then down into that level at 300. 300 is my main price target. I think we're going there. It is still not 100% certain whether we are going there right now or not. It does seem most likely. Okay, I think in general, when we're talking about the general markets, a pullback is to be expected. That is, if that's more nuanced. Okay, so do watch my Bitcoin video and my other videos, because I think a pullback short term is likely. I think ultimately my bias on Bitcoin, XRP, Solana, etc. is still bullish. And then long term it's bearish again, but that's beside the point. And there's definitely some statistics, if you look at near intents, for example, that are still pretty good, and that is still showing momentum for some for the privacy narrative. But ultimately you can see we're starting a downtrend right here. We have respected the 7-day rolling VWAP and the 30-day rolling VWAP as resistance. The value area low, so the range low is right here at 480. We had a strong support at 510. We had a strong support at 495. We have lost all of those with relatively high volume, and it doesn't really seem like we're buying, or at least that there's bidding to reclaim those areas. Right, so based on all of those things, I would say it is most likely for now that we're going to push down lower. Now, does that mean that we're going to push down into $500 all of a sudden, or in $300? No. We have strong support right here at 400 and 420. So I would say that is a more likely first price target. And obviously, there's going to be ups and downs, right? I mean, I don't expect us to necessarily crash. I think this is going to be more of a downtrend. So we can also still spike up to this level right here at 510, 515, where we have the monthly point of control. That is a possibility, but ultimately the most likely direction for me is down. And the one thing that can change that is if all of a sudden we have some very strong, very significant momentum coming in, and if we can reclaim 515. But because of the dropping momentum right now, and in general the dropping sentiment, or the worsening sentiment around Zcash, I would not consider that the most likely scenario. And although it is a scenario, and I'm keeping that in mind, and that's also one of the key reasons why I'm not shorting Zcash, I don't think it's most likely. I think this is more likely. So those are my thoughts. That's what I think you need to know. So hopefully that helps a little bit. I will keep you updated on this as well. So let me know if you're interested in that. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care. Have a great weekend, and bye.